So I've been away for like a little bit more than a month and I really wanted to make another video, but I couldn't because I was not home. I literally came back just yesterday and now I'm sitting here, but I love it. So yeah, today we're talking about fandoms. Why fandoms destroy groups or destroy standing a specific group, being a part of the fandom. For me personally, that already happened. I think two groups. It was Stray Kids and Hypen. And Stray Kids is the group that we're talking about mostly now. I saw a video where someone was talking about a situation of Bangchan that happened. Maybe it was a few weeks ago, or I don't even know how long ago it was. He noticed a fandom war between Stray Kids and Twice. I don't know what side started it. And he called out Stace for hating on other groups, especially because it's Twice. And then people were hating on Bangchan again. People liked what he said, but other people didn't like what he said and didn't support that. All that. In the past, there were bigger fandom wars that also lasted for years and whatever. But obviously I'm not a part of it. Most of the times fandom wars happen on Twitter. And let me tell you, I don't know how to use this app. I never knew. It's so complicated. I don't know. So I never really get any kind of fandom wars. So yeah, this all just passes by me. To say this directly at the beginning, fandom wars are childish and immature. So if you're starting a fandom war, that just proves that you're not mature enough. Especially about a topic like this, about like the stay ones, I don't know, they were hating on Twice because JYP clearly favorited, Twice, Twice fans were hating on stays because JYP the favoritism is very clear that they like Stray Kids more, you know? I don't know, because something about the tour and stuff. Any type of fandom war is about nothing serious. It's always something silly and something immature. And if you are arguing about stuff like this makes you immature. I hear a lot that people say about Stray Kids fandoms that they're always only kids, like the whole fandom only consists of kids. That's just kind of true because yes, they also have a lot of kids and young people in their fandoms, which is not a bad thing. They also have older stays. Definitely, I also see a lot of them. In my eyes, maybe why people are always calling them kids or childish is the fact that all of them, despite their age, stays fulfill the typical stereotypical they look, or I don't know, like the way that they appear, and also maybe like kind of appear not as mature as other fandoms. Also, I have to say, and I'm going to say this a lot probably in this video, this is not just about stays and not just about Stray Kids. There are a lot of other groups where this is exactly the same. Stray Kids is just super popular. Like, I only see those type of people every time I'm like at events, or I see a random person, or like someone approaches me or stuff. It's always very much the same. But why is that? That's probably because the group appears kind of the same way. So for example, the jokes that they make, the references that they make and stuff, the fans think that this is funny and they see this group and whatever, so they also act like this. Of course, there are also a few exceptions. The most of the times I only see those type of very stereotypical stays because they're way too focused on being a fan and being a part of this fandom and being a stay, that this reflects on their clothing or the way that they talk and the way that they appear to other people. Saying it again, not everyone. And why I can kind of recall that is because I kind of was like that too. I was only a fan of Stray Kids 1 or 2 years. In that time, every time I look back on things or videos or I don't know what, I just think, oh my god, was I cringe? And it's not because of the fact that it is in the past. Also a little bit, I don't find any of those things that I quoted or that Stray Kids quotes or whatever. I don't find those things funny anymore that I thought were funny back then. Or the clothing and stuff, because like I said, they're so invested in this fandom, they're so invested in Stray Kids, they're so invested being a stay that it reflects on their clothing and you can kind of see that you are a stay. But that appears not just to Stray Kids fans. Saying that again. Sometimes it's also a cool thing, so it does not always have to be a bad thing. But a lot of the times when I go to events or I just go out in the city, I see a lot of K-pop fans. Yes. And mostly a lot of stays because it's a huge fandom. It's very clear sometimes that they are a stay. Maybe it's kind of like a clan thing, a gang thing. Why do you all look the same? Like, y'all have the same clothing on, y'all have the same type of hair or something like that. And the way that you speak is also the same. I'm not saying that I don't like those kind of people or those kind of people. I'm not saying that I hate stays or that I don't like stays. A lot of them are nice. Like, you know, every kind of fandom has those, like those kind of fans that are just not as nice. I mean, you got them everywhere. I don't really get along with them well because I feel like we're not on the same, I don't know. Because I already spoke about that they're way too invested in the fandoms, which, oh my god, wait, a little story time right here. I once went out with my best friend. We went shopping a little bit and also went to a K-pop store. Our K-pop store that we love the most, Neo Tokyo, Berlin. We love you. We went into the store, we went to the album section, and we were just looking around. Someone was approaching us, like there were two people. There was the mom and the daughter. I don't know, the daughter is like 13-ish, and the mother approached us asking if we know about Enhypen albums. Like I said in the beginning, back then I was a fan of Enhypen. But to that point, when this happened, I wasn't anymore. But my best friend looked at me and pointed to me. Hold on, wait a minute. So she was like, oh, really? Wait, can you help us? I was like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Also, why didn't they ask the staff? They wanted to know because they were at the VR concert of Enhypen and that exactly that day. And then after that, they wanted to get the album where most of the songs were on or whatever because they really liked the songs. And so they wanted to buy the album. And then I say, yeah, I don't know what kind of songs they played there. So could you help me out a little bit? And so they kind of like looked something up, whatever. And then I said, yeah, no, they don't have this here. But you know what? I got it at home. I'm not a fan anymore, so I can sell it to you. Maybe. The daughter gave me her Instagram so that I could, or like I thought they were asking me over Instagram about like the albums. And I put them on my story, like I literally said, I'm selling them here. And I was like, €2, take it. But no one texted me because of that. And not them. I think she even saw my story and stuff. So I was like, huh? Whatever. So I still have them. But I already sold a few of the photo cards and also traded almost all of the photo cards. But the daughter posts things on Instagram and she's a stay, hardcore stay, and the mom is too. When I see her posts or stories or whatever, I see that they buy a lot of albums. Every time that they're out, every time like I see a new album, new photo cards, new of those plushies of Stray Kids and stuff. They got a ton of them. The original ones, they're fucking expensive. What the fuck? And I'm kind of like, damn. First of all, the mother supports this. And second of all, the daughter is so young. The albums and the photo cards and stuff, only Stray Kids. That's the point where I come to my next point, is being like, fans need to realize that there is a whole world outside of the fandom. So not everything has to relate to fandoms. So I'm not just talking about Stray Kids fans right now. I'm talking to everyone out there. So personally, I also spend a lot of time watching content of my favorite K-pop group, or in general, like everything about a lot of groups that I kind of like or that I don't even know. And I look up new things and I watch music videos and I listen to a lot of K-pop songs and stuff. But in that same vein, I also go out and do something that is not related to K-pop. Yes, I go out and buy albums, as you can see, and I go to concerts, and I do spend a lot of money on it, but not really anymore. I had a really bad time. Maybe I can, in a different video, I can talk about this a little bit more intensively. So I do spend money on albums, I do spend money on concerts, but I also go out and do something not related to it. I go into cafes that have nothing to do with K-pop. I just go out and I do something with also friends that I don't have friends. Okay, I only have this one friend that I was talking about. But when I was still going to school, I knew some people, like friends, and then I hang out with them, and they didn't listen to K-pop, and we still got along really well, and we did stuff together. Or when you're meeting new people, they don't need to like K-pop. Of course, it's one thing that you can talk about, and it's a cool thing to talk about, but it does not always have to be that way, and that's also important. Yes, I do watch a lot of K-pop stuff, but mostly I watch a lot of stuff that is not related to it, and I love to educate myself through videos or through books. I read mangas, and I also show interests in other things or other fandoms, and I'm a I love Harry Potter. Maybe you can see something. I love my manga section. It's not a lot, but it goes up there. And I love animes. I love Lego and Marvel. Oh my god, Marvel and Harry Potter, those were the first fandoms that I ever got in when I was this small, probably. So yeah, I love showing my fan side, not just to K-pop, but also to other things. I also got my little shiggy here. I wanted to show more, but I'm sitting right in front of it. But it's so cute. A lot of fans are also way too much into the group that they like or a specific idol that they would defend everything that they do. When an idol makes a mistake, we don't have to directly hate on them. We have to look critical on this and build our own opinion about these situations. If your favorite idol, if your bias is in a scandal, think about it. Don't directly be like, no, he would never do something like that. Never say things like this over anyone. Actually, even the person that is your best friend. Be like, no, he would never do something like that. She would never do something like that. We are not saying this anymore because you never know. You don't know this person, especially if you don't know this person personally and if you're only a fan of this person. That's very important to realize. Go out, touch some grass, I wanted to say. But I mean, some of you guys are not completely delusional, so I don't know. And even if you only have friends of K-pop and you don't have any friends at all, that's also completely fine. To have some kind of friends is kind of important, yes, but I definitely have to say that you don't have to force anything. Don't go into a friendship or worse, a relationship. No, both are exactly the same. Don't go any of that if this person is not good for you. And if this person also likes K-pop, okay, then that's okay. But don't just talk about that. Don't just do things related to K-pop, and realize that there is a world literally around you. I think one thing that kind of pulled me out of like being way too focused on being a fan is educating myself more about politics. I'm not saying you directly have to do something like that. Maybe you have something else that you really like. Maybe go out, grab your bike. There are a lot of things that you can mix with being a fan of K-pop. Yeah. And it's cool to be a fan of K-pop, but sometimes we have to keep it down a little bit, okay? But still, don't be ashamed of being a K-pop fan. Go walk around with your photo card on your back, because maybe in a few years you will be like, I should have done this. I should have done this, because no one cares. No one cares what you do. So now I'm showing you a video that I made while I was away to not forget what I wanted to talk about in this video, because it's a little bit more unfiltered and maybe you're interested in watching it, or I'm already going to say goodbye now. You don't have to watch this video. It's like 8 minutes long. I don't know. Maybe you want to hear me yap a little bit what I also had to say a few weeks ago about this topic, or like a week ago, I don't know. I'm getting ready right now in bed, I know, doing my makeup, and I'm watching something, I don't know, I cannot show you right now, but it's like a video. She's talking about like a Bangshan situation. I'm not into Stray Kids anymore, but it was just like, I need something to watch, so I put it on, and like he was offending Twice or something, and like, or like saying, whatever happens right now, like with like the tour and stuff, that Twice, Twice and Stray Kids are like touring at the same time right now, something blah blah blah. And fans said JYP, like you can clearly see the favoritism towards Stray Kids, and then people were hating on Twice, people were hating on Stray Kids, blah blah blah. And then Bangshan like spoke up and wrote a post or something about it, saying that like he defends Twice and like they're his, you know, like he will always like kind of take care of them because they take care of me, blah blah blah. Sorry, it's stuff like this. I don't know. The fact that I'm watching this right now, and literally, my opinion is I don't really like the fandom stays in general. Back then, I was a stay and I liked Stray Kids, but I was just blind a little bit. When I now look at the content that they're doing, it's cringy, and it's like, it's not for an audience that is old, like mature, you could say. I don't know, like it's not made for kids, because I see a lot of stays that are definitely not in the age of kids anymore, but they kind of act like this way. So I don't really like the fandom. I don't really like the group and stuff. That's my personal opinion. But just talking, like just seeing this and the fan war and stuff that you're discussing that you're discussing and arguing about something like this as a fandom and hating on other fandoms because of this, just shows and proves to me again that this fandom is not mature enough. It doesn't matter what age you have. It's just like, it just shows me you're immature. Because when I look at like other groups that I nowadays stan, things like that don't happen. If it's like a fan war, I don't even know if like fan wars even exist. Probably some people that are just immature, you got those people everywhere, but in this extent, absolutely not. Like in this extent, as like states from Stray Kids, absolutely, you will not see this kind of behavior in a lot of other groups, or in the type of groups that I stay in now. And same goes for, someone's playing music outside, what the hell. So it's like the thing, exactly what I just said about Stray Kids, it stays, literally applies to Enhypen and engines too, like a fandom of Enhypen. Back then I was also a fan, and then I kind of grew out of it and was like, first of all, the fandom destroys it for me. Same goes for Stray Kids, and I don't feel like we're on the same level. Maybe I'm even, you can hate me for this, but maybe it's wrong for me to say, but it's like, it's not wrong for me to say, but I mean like, maybe we're not on the same level of intelligence, you could say, or you prioritize other things more. Yeah, I don't know, I'm just so confused in what's going on with like the big fandoms. Like there are so many groups that are so big, and they got so much popularity and fame and hype and stuff, but I'm just like, do they really? It's not like, they probably do deserve it in some type of way, but when I look at like other groups, actually, I'm like, wait, why do you have this type of fame but the others don't? And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, because you're from a big company and the others are not. That's always a thing. Yeah. So y'all, yeah, and I also want to know, what are like other groups or fandoms that you think are problematic, cringy, or just like have this type of vibe that you're just like, nah, I don't want to go back to this fandom anymore, or I will never be a fan of this, because no, I'm not we're morally not in the same field. That's how I feel sometimes. Not about everything, of course, not about everything. And I bet there's a small amount of stays that is actually correct, but I feel like even those, I would not really fully get along with them, because if you're a stay and you're consuming their content, and so you indirectly think they're funny, we will not get along, because I Personally, no offense, I don't think they're very funny. And yeah, that's not my kind of, yeah, stuff I like. Yeah. Sorry, y'all can come for me for that. But I mean, you have a different opinion, maybe about my favorite group or something. And you know what? You can have this, whatever. But I was once blind too, and was in fandoms like Straykids, like Hypen, or others that I just really liked, blah blah blah. And then I grew out of them, and I was like, what the fuck was wrong with me? What was wrong with me? And y'all will come there too, probably. Sorry for addressing you exactly like this. Yeah.